Hi, welcome to this latest video from my small holding soul. I'm Liz. Today we are clearing out this chicken run. As you can see here, it's a bit overgrown. This little video here shows you that we've actually now trimmed out all of the inside. We've left the grass and cuttings down, and there at the back where I just pointed, there were lots of suckers from the hedge, lots of little bits of hedge trying to grow through the bottom of the run. So we've cut all those down. You can see above that there is a netting over the top of most of the run. That's actually going to be replaced with a tarpaulin today to keep it weatherproof, or a little bit weatherproof, and stop any birds flying over, dropping feces into the run, which could potentially contaminate the chickens with avian flu. We've taken all of the spare stuff out of there, and we've also cleaned out and disinfected the chicken house, ready for new chickens. We haven't had chickens here for over 12 months, so it had got a bit overgrown. You can see there's two slabs down there on the left. That's where we put the food and the water. Just raises them up off the grass, because later in the season, particularly if it's very wet, that can get very muddy. So to have a solid base is really good. Nice and flat. There they are, those two there. So just to situate the chicken house, and for those of you that saw my February plot tour, this is our other plot. It starts there at the shed, comes down past these hoop houses that we built this last year, and across these raised beds, finishes there. But then on this part here, it goes all the way down to that greenhouse, across and back up. We're going to be building a polytunnel there. We've got a cold frame and some compost bins just here, and there is actually a shed behind all that. And then just the other side of the chicken run, you can see our smaller greenhouse, which has got onions and things starting in there now. And then these small raised beds, which we usually have some sorts of salads and chives and things in there. You can see these frames that I put in last year. We grew cucumbers up these to keep them off the ground. And that worked really well. The hoops have got a fine mesh on them, and they have a treated wooden base. And we can fit those over most things we grow, whether that's broccoli or cabbages, and they roughly fit on top of all of these raised beds as well. All this area also gets planted. You can see we're quite close to the road there. And then in the distance towards the other end of the allotments, you can see Meon Hill, which is a feature of the landscape for quite a distance around all the villages, actually, locally. You can see Meon Hill for quite a long way around. And it does create some interesting weather. We get quite a lot of wind coming down off the hill. The site's quite exposed. So this is the other plots. When I talk about the two different plots, this is like the larger of the two plots. So here you can see the ends of the chicken wire that are quite sharp, where they've been cut to fit the frame. And Nigel on the right and my son Adam on the left are covering that with black duct tape, so that these sharp ends don't rub against the tarpaulin. You see the black edging there when they finished it off, made it nice and covered, and so it doesn't stick out. We found some ladybirds in amongst it all. Good to see so many ladybirds this early in the season. Here's the tarp over the top, all fixed on with rope and cable ties, and that duct tape just covering over some of the edges too. The boys moved on to put these posts in at the end of the run, knocking those in nice and firmly, and then securing them to the back of the run as well. This was because we wanted to build a gable end on the end of this run. It stops the wind whistling through, and as you've seen, we're quite close to a road, so this actually means that it protects the chickens from some of the noise, some of the bangs of the tractors and trailers that go through. We started off with 3 posts, but very quickly knocked in an extra 2 in the middle and put batten on those, just to give us lots of places to fix this green board to. And there's my dad joining Nigel, putting this on. So we nailed it on with a nail gun. We started from the middle, measuring out, and then they cut the edges straight when they got to the edge there, so they didn't have to cut every piece of wood potentially twice. They're cutting the uprights here to the height of the roof of the run, And this is because we wanted to mimic that triangular roof shape on the top. So they cut those off, and they used the green planks that you see at the bottom there, which are somebody else's shed that had fallen down and was no longer going to be used, and the wood was going to be burnt. So we decided to recycle it to make this end. I know you haven't seen me doing any of this, but I was there with the nail gun and passing the level and stuff like that. But I wanted to catch a bit of the work on video to share with you guys. So because they're not interested in doing any of the videoing, that was left to me. I'm just cutting off that main one there. You'll see that it's not directly in line with the sort of apex of the roof, but that didn't matter because we were covering it all anyway. As I say, it's not a functional gable end in as much as it's not attached to any other roof or anything like that. It's not structural. It's for sound barrier, for again, stopping the rain driving in from the back. And it just really does tidy it up as well. It makes it look good. I'm very proud of what they did. So to that end, we're going to jump the video a little bit now, and you're going to see the finished deal, which looks really good in my opinion. They've capped the top as well to stop the rain getting into the sides of those shorn off bits of wood. And there it is from the inside. You can see that it's now got a proper sort of end to it. Here's our 30-litre water tank and our 10-kilo feeder. And we're off to Newland Poultry to pick up our brand new chickens. And here they all are in their boxes in the run. It's about an hour away from us. So they've had an hour's journey. There's 3 chickens per box, which they recommend. And we bought the boxes from them. They've got nice breathing holes in, so they can be transported comfortably. If we were going for any long period of time, I would include lots of water and bits of food in there for them, and probably have less chickens per box. But we were only an hour away, and they're really very comfortable. They're quite quiet on the way back, almost docile, to be honest. It's only when we start carrying them around again they make a fuss. So here I am just undoing the tops of the boxes, giving them the chance to have a bit of a look out, and lying them on the side so they can get out there themselves if they want to. They're not going to be hugely adventurous to start with because it's all very new to them and they need to take their time to get accustomed. So because we wanted to settle them quite quickly, I decided to just help them out. I'm just opening the last box of chickens here, and I did give them a little bit of time to try and come out on their own. Chickens do take a while to sort of warm up and explore their surroundings, which is understandable as they are preyed upon by lots of things. They're very scared of stuff going on around them, noises and things. So it does take a bit of time. I came away from the boxes so that they could get out on their own. And I also used some of the layer pellets out of their feeder. I threw those on the ground in front of them to give them a chance to sort of see, oh, look, there's food and we can go out and eat that. But I don't think even that was going to entice them out, to be honest. And that one chicken that just ran out dived straight into the other box. So that wasn't working either. I gave up waiting for them to come out of the box in the end. I'm just bringing in a chicken block here, which is compressed food essentially. It comes with a little hanging rope, but I have a pink bag hanging down from the top of the run, and that is it's like a horse hay net that you stuff with hay, and the horse can pull the hay out. This holds the block in place. It dangles down from the roof, and as they peck it, it moves slightly. It's quite nice. It gives them something to do. It's a sort of boredom buster for chickens, really. And so now you can see me getting on with the matter of fact business of tipping out chickens. they've had a chance to come out on their own, they haven't, and I want to get on and make sure they're all settled. So that's what I'm doing. I will break those boxes down in a few minutes, flat, and they will go in the compost. I could save them to use for something else. In fact, they might go in the bottom of some of the new raised beds on the other plot, but they are covered in chicken poop. And so they're not going to be used like at home for storage or anything. And I hope not to be going to buy any more chickens. So there's no point keeping them for that either. So there we go, boxes going. You can see them all huddling to the one side there, very much in a little group, which is fine. That's the way they feel protected. I'm just picking up a couple of watering cans from Nigel, who is filling them up from the tanks we have at the top of the plot. And the reason we do it by watering can is that we don't have a lot of pressure off our tanks with a hose pipe, and it's a fair way to run a hose pipe as well. This also makes it just an easy manual job to do. It would be a lot easier, I guess, just popping the hose pipe in the top of the water butt thing, but it's really not a huge hassle. I filled the bottom up straight away before I filled the actual tank, because they have been travelling and they've been cooped up for a little while. I know they weren't necessarily going to come very close to me whilst I was filling this up, but I wanted them to see that the water was there, because it's important that they always have fresh water all of the time and access to that. So you can see there that the top is off and I'm just filling that up, trying not to waste it all everywhere. And here comes watering can number 2. I'm not going to bore you to death with all of the water that we put in here. Needless to say, it takes quite a few of them to fill it up, and that's fine. What I tend to do is fill it up in the first place, and then every other day just check how topped up it is. In the summer, it needs filling up quite regularly. Obviously, with the heat, they drink an awful lot, and we actually have a second one of these units that we could use. So they could have up to 60 litres of water in there a day if necessary. But at this time of year, one is more than enough. So here are our 12 girlies. They are settling in nicely, moving around a little bit now. And you can see there's a variety of different birds there. Some with feathers on their heads, some without. Some slightly brown ones, some completely brown ones. Some with darker feathers around the head and lighter bodies. Some with patterned feathers all over. So here they all are. They've hidden around the back of the chicken house. I will do a separate video on the chicken house because it's the second one we've used and it's fantastic. Not sponsored by the company or anything like that, but if you can afford to get one of these sorts of chicken houses, I think they're worth their weight in gold, because they are durable and easy to wash and easy to use. I just find these birds endlessly fascinating, and I'm going to leave this run now, so that if you wish, you can continue to watch them with a bit of music.
So well done if you've made it this far. We are just about to put them to bed. The evening sunset and the sunrise. And here they are with the door open after their first night in their new home and their new run. And they are very timid, but they are coming out one by one. And I'm pleased to report that they all had a very good first evening and were all well the next morning, doing everything that chickens should do. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been interesting to see how we prepared the run and got it ready for them, and to see them arrive and settle in. There will be plenty more chicken related content to come. These ladies will take about another month before they start laying, and I will be able to show you all the egg collecting and the fact that I've chosen these chickens for the fact that they produce different coloured eggs, which always looks so pretty in a box. Of course, the eggs are all the same inside, it's just the colour of the shells that are different. I have a playlist on my YouTube which will hold the chicken content. So if you're particularly interested in chickens, you can go straight there. And if you want to skip them, you don't have to watch that bit at all either. So again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Good to see the sun, isn't it, on them? Oh no, with all the worry about the light. Good to see it getting in there. A little rock there on the treadle to keep it open, so they can see where the food is. I defrosted the water this morning with the kettle.